Hello and welcome to Life at the Laundry Garden. Today I'm not at the Laundry Garden, I am at Crocus, which is based Guildford, which is right down south on the map in the UK. And I've come to have a look at their nursery because I'm one of their affiliate partners, and we'll be showing you lots of their gorgeous plants over the coming months, and of course the tulip collection that I've just shown you in my last episode. So this is the actual nursery behind me here that grow over 1 million plants. Can you believe that? That is just mind-blowing. And I've had a tour of here today. It's just literally blown my mind. It's an incredible setup. The whole site for growing here is about 7 hectares, which is about 10,000 square meters. It is pretty big, and they do specialize growing mostly in 9 centimeter pots, but they also sell shrubs and a few trees, which is something that they're building on at the moment. So Crocus as a business has been running for over 20 years now and are thriving and growing quite substantially, especially over the recent years. And you can just see by looking at what's behind me how amazing this place is. And I've actually wanted to come here for quite a while to actually submerge myself in the surroundings and see everything there is about how they go about their growing, and just get a feel for the being on site right here. And my goodness, it has not disappointed. If anything, I've been like a child in a sweet shop, actually, haven't I, Lydia? Yes. I just want to touch everything, and I don't just want to take everything home with me, but obviously I'm not going to. But what I am going to do is I'm just going to show you through some of the bits of here. I mean, I can't show you everything because it's so vast, but super impressive at the same time. Here we are at Crocus HQ, where they've got this. I mean, this is the first thing that greets you pretty much as you arrive here. And there's some beautiful hedging and planting. All this planting we're looking at here is by Charlie Hawkes, who won Chelsea Gold this year. And he's just made these beautiful pockets of areas in this lovely part of Crocus HQ. Look at all this. And even in September it looks inviting. I mean, go to work here and just have lunch at this table. I think I want to come and work here. On site. On arrival to the nursery, I'm faced with these incredible Protea trees. Look at the size of the base of them. They are just enormous and incredible, and their autumn colours are starting to show as well. And then all these beautiful big growing areas here as well. This is where it all starts, and this is where all the little baby plants start their journey in their life with Crocus, and they're nurtured in this huge polytunnel, which actually has underfloor heating in this section here. And it's quite amazing to see all of this for real, and the scale. So we can see all these little plug plants. Everything is all peat free here as well. Look at that, it goes on and on and on. Unbelievable. So everything ranges from cuttings to seedlings to just about everything. And then they move on to these 9 centimeter pots here. And to give you an idea of the size of a 9 centimetre pot. There we go. There's your size. So it's just big enough to hold in your hand. And this is a salvia. And then from this tunnel, they move on to another tunnel where they are potted on again. Lydia's just going to take us into this area here, which is where they have this incredible machine. It's all turned off now, but what happens is it takes you from these little babies, these little tiny seedlings, and then gets them into these pots here on a great big production run. It's quite impressive. Here's the conveyor belt, and it works its way around, adds the compost, the peat-free compost in here, and then you have your plants, and then they all get stacked up in this area here, and then off they go, ready for the next stage of growth. Now there's something I really want to show you, and you're probably wondering what this is, but this is a rainwater overflow catchment area, and it's one of a kind. I've not seen anything quite like this, and it's pretty deep, I can tell you. And from there, when it collects the rainwater, and you can see there are lots of pipes around the edges, it then sucks the water out of there into this dam here, which holds on to the water, and this water is then reused to water all the plants on the nursery. To give you an idea on the depth of the dam here, this is 9 tyres high, and it holds how much water?
I think it was 120 cubes.
120 cubic meters worth of water, and they have not had to use any mains water this summer at all, it is quite something. So having all of this in place is good for the environment and cost effective for the nursery as well. So they're constantly working on ways to regenerate and repurpose what goes on here. It's phenomenal, and there's more. Keep watching. As you can see, it's polytunnel after polytunnel after polytunnel. It's quite something hugely impressive. You can see there's lots more. You've got a lot of your seed babies along this side, and then you've got them in the 9 centimetre pots on the other side. All of these plants in here have been potted on this summer, and they're all in 9 centimetre pots, and these will be strong and ready to sell from now until next spring, which is ideal. So a lot of these, you can see these are all heucheras, looking very healthy and happy, and on the other side we've got some more heucheras and some ferns and so on. Incredible. Now there are just little things that excite me, things like heuchera. This is heuchera marmalade, which I've got round the dragon. Also heuchera obsidian, 2 fantastic heucheras that I absolutely love and have in my own garden, and highly recommend. Look, I just want to touch them right now. Look at those varying colours on this heuchera marmalade. It sort of varies from your pinks to your slightly green, tiny slightly bit of everything, and then you go completely contrasting with your heuchera obsidian, which is gorgeous and dark, a nice strong depth that go well in a lot of planting schemes. just had to stop and admire these giant, great big rose. Chinensis multabilis. These, were some of them?
All of them were grown for Chelsea.
All of these were grown for Chelsea. Oh, did I mention crocus grow for Chelsea show gardens? Not all of them, selected ones. So the designer will come to them probably around about a couple of months ago now, and then they will be given a plant list, and crocus will grow all the plants that will be making up a show garden at the Chelsea Flower Show. How amazing is that? I mean, what an honour to be growing plants at the Chelsea Flower Show. Only crocus. I've just been told by Lydia that this is a shrub rose actually, not a climbing rose. So what crocus have done, the team here, they have trained what would normally be something only this big. They have trained it and trained it and trained it, so it then becomes more of a climber, which you can do with a lot of varieties of roses. It is possible if you're very, very persistent. Look how you can get the height on this. Ooh, I can picture these against the walls in the walled garden. Look at those. Here's the next stage of growing, where they go from the little nursery seedling area into this unheated area here. And this is where they will start to really gain their roots and become a little bit more established in their new pots. And it goes on and on. Incredible. And just standing in here, the warmth is incredible. So all over the nursery, they have this incredible gully system that links, and you can see goes on and on all the way over there, and all of that links to that dam where all this water is stored. So now we've come from the polytunnels over there where all the 9cm pots are gaining their root system. Then we moved to out here, and this area is where they're all brought out of the polytunnel and they are hardening off now, so they get stronger and used to the weather conditions and are then ready to come into your gardens. Wow. And just on this side here are all the climbers. Lots and lots of climbers. We've just stopped to admire this mass of Euphorbia wolfenii, and then we've come and had a look at this. We were curious to what it was actually. So this is a salvia, and it's a salvia, it's a pink amistad. I'm going to show you the flower a little bit closer, and here it is here. Bees, it's covered in bees. But it's a really, really pretty amistad. Nice sort of limey leaves and pink flowers. I'm liking that, and it's not too big either. Here's a little sneaky look at what will soon become the Chelsea pens. So when the designers have chosen what they are going to have as their favoured plants for their gardens, they will all be held in these areas here. So we keep stopping, you know, we're walking around, and Lydia and I keep stopping and looking at plants. Look at this one here. Oh, just look at that colour. So this is Echinacea Sunseeker's salmon. What a beautiful colour. Just gorgeous. So from one area to another, so we've just walked up and down these perennial beds. Well, they're not perennial beds, are they? What are they called? perennial pens. See, I'm still in a garden mode. So perennial pens over there to this area, which is fascinating really. All of these down here are all orders that people have purchased, and all of these will be sent off, packaged, ready to go to their new homes. And I love how they're all on these little trailers. Look, it's gorgeous. And it also is quite nice to sort of have a nosy at some of the things that people have chosen. It's absolutely fascinating, and they go on. And just opposite them are fig trees. We've had such a good crop of figs this year, but there are so many along here. Look at this. Ooh. I'm now in a very quiet packing area. It was extremely busier before, when it was full of men and women packing up. I'm going to take you further down, but you can see everyone's orders all placed. I mean, there are literally thousands of plants here that are packaged and sent out every single day. But they go through a procedure behind me here where everything is checked and made sure that it looks healthy before it goes out. And then it obviously moves on to being properly packaged and sent out. We'll just have a quick look now. Lots of orders, and they're all checked. Quality control, making sure everything looks healthy, which they do. And then onto this area here, where they are starting to be packaged even further. And then when I came in here earlier, everything is more or less on a conveyor belt style and individually packed by lots of people and into these boxes. It's just quite a process. I feel quite privileged to be able to come into a space like this and see behind the scenes what goes into packing everything before it goes out to the consumer. It's quite phenomenal, it really is. I feel, there's an absolute process to it that is done meticulously and in a caring way as well, to make sure everybody gets the beautiful plants that they've ordered. HQ. I'm going to start getting ready to go on my journey home, 4-hour drive. And I'd just like to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as me today. It's quite a phenomenal place here, and I am really glad to be associated with this and everything that they do here. It certainly gives me a lot more appreciation of what goes on behind the scenes, from the beginnings of the tiny seed right the way through to the packaging and sending off to you, the consumer. So thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.